1, Chapter 4, Sowing, of Hard Times is called Mr. Bounderby. Mr. Josiah Bounderby is a local banker, merchant, manufacturer, and whatnot. A large, rotund man with a loud voice who can never sufficiently vaunt himself a self-made man, Mr. Bounderby tells the Gradgrinds, apparently yet again, how he was born in a ditch and suffered from inflammation of the lungs. Because his mother abandoned him, his grandmother took him in, but kept him in an egg box and abused him. He went on to be a vagabond and held a series of odd jobs. Sickly, ragged, and dirty throughout his youth, he taught himself to read from shop signs and claims to have overcome these adversities through sheer self-determination. Mr. Bounderby is shocked to learn Tom and Louisa were peeping at the circus, and so is their mother. Both adults scold the children, even as the children explain they only wanted a break from their lives of constant study. The children are barred from engaging in further foolishness, and Mr. Bounderby kisses Louisa on the cheek and leaves for his home. She's so disgusted by this that she intensely spends 5 minutes rubbing the spot on her cheek with a handkerchief. When trying to figure out what attracted Tom and Louisa to the circus, Mr. Bounderby remembers that the child of a circus performer attends Mr. Gradgrind's school. Appalled by the dangers of exposure to such influences, and at his suggestion, both he and Mr. Gradgrind prepare to turn this girl to the right about. Mr. Bounderby is something of a paradox. His self-deprecating remarks are actually designed as boasts about his current status, one of wealth and influence in Coketown. He tells these stories and repeats them throughout the novel as an illustration of his own bravery, grit, and self-reliance. The narrator's tone when describing him veers into the sarcastic. Mr. Bounderby is painted as larger than life, both literally and figuratively. He is called a bully of humility, in that his bragging pushes humility to the side and indicates how he uses this falsely to bully other people into admiring him. In his exaggerated, bloated persona, Mr. Bounderby illustrates the worst traits ascribed to factory owners. He is self-absorbed to the point of lacking any ability to empathize with others, and his portrayal of himself as a self-made man illustrates his belief that if he can rise from such terrible beginnings, everyone has the potential to attain wealth and better situations. As for the Gradgrind family, Mrs. Gradgrind is revealed as a timid echo of her husband. Jane, the youngest, is literally bored to tears. Tom is sulking, vengeful. Louisa seems devoid of feeling, passive. These emotional responses will become more significant.